So we've come together now. We're a couple of minutes in. We're being recorded. So let it be recorded that we are first giving our obeisances to each other. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. On another special day, because we've got our human bodies, we've got connection with the highest world through the wonderful Paramahamsa Vaishnavas, and we've got each other's association. So it is a special morning, special day. Hare Krishna, and to each of you, Dharam Prabhu, Sevarupa Devirasi, Radha Sundari Devirasi, Paramananda Prabhu, Kumkum Devirasi, Divya Shakti, Praneshwari, and Das Anudas, who seems to have turned into B.R. Madhusudan. I don't know quite how. I used to have to keep changing it, but now finally it's learned who I am. And Nirupama Devirasi, happy to have you with us. At least I can see that you're with us on Facebook, keeping Facebook running. So we've come together today on this actual Sunday morning here in Italy and in various places of the world. Everywhere here except for America. It is Sunday morning. So the church bells will call the congregation to come to church, a traditional day in the Western world, at least, for remembering the Lord. So how will we remember him today? Oh, Divya Shakti, don't go.
I'm coming back. I just have to untangle my cord and plug it in over here.
All right. Well, Divya Shakti probably remembers something from the Mahananda quotations from Navadip and Calcutta too. Water is wet, fire is hot, and cords tangle.
Tangle.
That definitely we had that saying in India because it was true. No matter you only have two cords, they somehow get tangled. All right, Krishna, Krishna. So two people in the waiting room, Rupa Vilas and Jayadev. So let us come to Praneshwari first and ask her what was left over from our 3 days ago program, if anything was left over.
We had homework from Paramananda Prabhu.
Or to read Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion.
Yes, chapter 1 and 2.
Okay.
To have that information about emotion and devotion.
All right, beautiful. So who did their homework? This time I can put up my hand and say, I did my homework. And not only I read chapters 1 and 2, I couldn't stop. I kept on going. Did nobody read chapters 1 and 2? Oh, my goodness.
We listened. And there is a comment in the chat, which is very sincere.
Is there indeed? Click. Chintamani. I don't even pretend to try. Oh, dear. The humility of the Vaishnavas. Anyway.
But
so,
Maharaj,
yes,
Maharaj, we can ask a graduate to shed some light on that subject.
Divya Shakti.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh, a graduate from the very original back to basics course, Divya Shakti Devirasi.
Wait a minute. Let me put the mic on.
The mic's on. We can hear you.
I am not a graduate of anything, especially in devotional service. So, best to ask Paramananda.
Okay, then before we do that, then let's, while on the theme, Divya Shakti, please share with us something from the original back to basics course in Navadip that we were doing, because actually those were happy days. Please share anything from what you remember there. I don't mean the content, I mean anything.
Oh, I remember how we used to go up in your office area and have classes there, and it was so beautiful. And we were trying to memorize the Shikshastakam prayers, and everybody had a Shikshastakam prayer to memorize, and that was really beautiful. Don't ask me.
Okay, we're not going to put you on the spot. Don't worry.
It's all so wonderful, Maharaj. I'm just so impressed with all of you and your service, nature, and anyway, it's very enlivening. It was so enlivening. We also had classes up in the Sri Govinda Kund in the Sevashram there, and that was really wonderful on the second floor there. That's where it kind of started, I think.
Yeah, it is. That's where it started.
Yeah. So
In
that
the
was-
corridor, which is a wide corridor. And
I don't even remember how we started it. How did we start doing Back to Bhakti Basics?
it was two people in particular, Anandamoy Devidasi of Brazil and Canada, and Ramachandra Prabhu,
Oh,
your
wow.
local Ramachandra from just down the road in California, that time Oregon.
Okay. Yeah, it was very nice, and we would all gather together. No, it was very wonderful.
And Ananda Moididi was a very, or was and is a very good organizer. I mean, that was her profession, I think. She was doing something with businesses and organization and getting conferences and this, that, and the other together. And she was very organized, maybe more organized than we are. Oh, no, sorry. I mean, according by myself, Praneshri Didi, by the way, I'm very impressed how organized you are, keeping a track of all the 150 plus classes, or whether we call them even classes, but back to basics discussions, and very organized. But Anandamoy, she got it going with her good organization, and we did try to do some homework each week, and it was happy. It was happy. It wasn't like pulling teeth for having devotees come. After they came once, they wanted to come back again and again. And a little bit different from a normal class, because in a class, we're in front of Guru Maharaj. The English class would take place in front of Guru Maharaj at his samadhi. But the back to basics, like we are, was a little more informal, but trying to be substantial means with substance, to keep us with our attention on the foundation, which actually is what Guru Maharaj and Gurudev want us to do, but in a family way. I'm wondering if sermons is in audio, and maybe by the request of Divya Shakti, she's asking, were you asking Praneshwari or Paramananda? I don't remember which.
Asking them what? What was I asking?
Emotion versus emotion. Huh?
That was Paramananda, I believe.
Paramananda. Okay. So while Paramananda Prabhu can give us a little view on emotion versus devotion, or devotion versus emotion, I'll see if I can just find the audio and post it so that you can, I think it's already on the web, but then you can all listen to it and actually be able to do your homework belated, hand your homework in late. Paramananda, please, a few words from yourself. Oh, look, there's audio. Oh my goodness, Praneshwari Didi. Nobody can compete with you, Praneshwari Didi. She's put the link already.
He's a teacher.
She's a teacher, yeah.
He knows how to teach us properly.
And really, Maharaj, what can I say? I can only say what I heard, but that's why I asked Divya Shakti Didi to say something from the heart, something that she learned over the years, really. Wherever she went, she always preached, non-stop, full dedication, going to see Gurudev to make sure she is doing the right thing, checking if she's going in the right direction. This is my observation. So that's why I wanted to hear something from, you know, a genuine representative of that theme, not myself.
And I'm always hankering to try to follow in your footsteps, Paramananda Prabhu and Madhusudan
Yeah.
Maharaj, so diligently.
Madhusudan Maharaj, yes, good choice.
It's so beautiful, actually. But I can only share that I feel blessed that I am so, that I am still attracted to this spiritual path and this association of devotees and this way of life, and that it's embedded in me. It's a part of my heart, my nature, my love for living life, and it's the only thing that we can think about, all of us, and it's the only thing that we're living for. And actually, it was such a beautiful experience being in SoCal just recently for the passing of Sureshri Didi. It's actually changed me, changed my life. I actually feel, to be honest with you, I feel a bit like I have a different relationship with her now. I feel a deeper understanding between us now. And her passing was very miraculous to all of us. And even Deva Priya Didi said, "Wow, Divya Shakti, I'm not even that scared anymore." I said, "Well, neither am I, you know." It's like, I think her passing took away a lot of our fears and of, I think our fear is of forgetting Krishna at the time of death or something, but I don't know. It was just a very beautiful experience. And she was fearless. She was a fighter, but she wasn't fighting. She was just flowing, going with the flow. And she was ready. And she knew this was her ticket. And she just let it happen and made it happen and let us do everything we had to do to make her the most comfortable before she was going to leave that body. And it was just amazing. And the way all the devotees were dealing with it, it was like a maturity that came out of all of us. And it brought all of us together, because this is what Sureshri wanted, all of us to come together. And we all came together with love and affection. And it was very beautiful. And it was very loving. And the family came together, and it was very wonderful experience. So I just would like to, reflect on that, and how important that everything that you all are doing, how you're stressing our sadhana and our non-deviation in mundane affairs, how important it is in our spiritual life to just try to always be fixed on the goal, and fixed on our purpose in life, So Sureshri was one. She always had transcendental sound vibration going on in her room, even when she wasn't in her room. It was always going on. So now that I'm living alone, I'm always trying to remember that. Always have transcendental sound vibration going on in my apartment here, and with me. It's not like I always do, but I'm always remembering it. I'm remembering it more. I'm remembering it more, and how important it is. And I feel a lot more peaceful after just coming back here yesterday. It was just a wonderful experience. So I don't want to take any more time. Anyway,
Divya Shakti, you're never alone.
Yeah.
You know that too.
Yeah.
but also that sentiment you express, how devotee, and that's a genuine sentiment. We can say there is a devotion in that, how devotee is not afraid of dying itself, but afraid of not remembering Krishna, not remembering the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas at that particular moment. Really, this is the only fear. There is no other fear. And it was expressed, how we know it's not just some kind of imagination, because the similar sentiments were expressed by the saints of the past. And the saints we hear about, and we hear their quotes dedicated to that. And that reminded me that famous verse by Maharaja Kulashekar, Krishna tadiya padapankaja panjarantam adhyayava me vishatamana sarajahamsa prana prayana samaye kapavata pita kantavarodhana vidhos maranam kutasti. He says, I do not know what's going to happen at the time of my death. I might be choking on a bile and mucus that my body will produce, unable to say your holy name, unable to remember you properly. So please let me fully absorb, dive deep into your pastimes, into your name, into your divine qualities right now, without a delay. I don't want to think about, oh, later on, and when I'm old, then I will try to remember. No, Maharaj Kulashekar said, when I'm healthy, when I'm young, that's when I want to do it. I want to surrender myself fully to your lotus feet. Otherwise, who knows what's going to happen? So there is a genuine sentiment and genuine devotion in that. Anyhow, Maharaj, we just feel, I feel a little space, but you're going to say something.
Maharaj said something. He said now he mentioned something about dying, and he said, now they have gone on, but left us all behind. We're still left here, but they've gone on, they're the, they're the lucky ones. They have gone on, and so it's, I just feel like I'm not ripe. Like we're not the ripe ones yet, we're not ripe enough. We're not at that time where it's time to be taken, by the saints and sages and Gurudev, and, to come, on this journey, so we have to be here and get a little bit more ripe and ready before we're taken away from this plane. And so they're all the fortunate ones, Yeah,
but we also know, Divya Shakti, the Vaishnavas are very merciful. They're not just abandoning their friends, their associates. It's not like that.
Yeah. Okay.
The help is coming and they're still present. So Maharaj can say more about it. And he knows very well that they're present, they're giving us their guidance, they're watching us with a merciful glance, not like watching what are we doing, checking on us. No, not like that. Mercifully watching over us.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for that.
Maybe it's my guilty conscience, but I sometimes think they're checking on us too. How are they doing? I mean, I sometimes think, okay, now this circumstance, how are you coping? What are you doing? And there is reciprocation, and everybody, again, it's all a matter of feeling. There is something inside which can say to us, yes, they're happy, they're not happy, we're doing the right thing, the wrong thing. And sometimes by their grace, they give a little, more or less, you can say, direct reciprocation, so that we think, oh, yes, really, this is their message. And this comes in different ways along the years. It's not only at this moment. And that's another thing that Guru Maharaj is saying. We are not atheists that think that when the body is gone, that everything is gone. What to speak of in relation to the Guru? The Guru, we are not atheists. We know that it is the living world that we're connecting with, not this world of mortality. And this is the world of mortality. And it was just a couple of days ago, we were driving along for our Harinam Sankirtan every Friday, doing Harinam Sankirtan. And we were going on the way there. And really, we were coming across so many graveyards along the way. And I said to Keshavananda, Italy has so many graveyards. And then he just said, yes, I heard that 100% of the people are dying in Italy. Everybody dies. And then we think, oh yes. But anyway, so we're not connected with this dying world, which is identity of the body. We're connecting with the living world. And this is really what our journey is all about. It's our journey home. And savor is happening today. Savor is happening tomorrow. Savor is happening when we have young bodies. Savor is happening when we have old bodies. Savor is happening when we don't have the bodies for the time being, or whatever it may be, and where we are taken at the time of leaving our body. That's really up to our masters. It's really up to where we've given our energy to connect. And that's always gently in our mind that, am I connecting really? I'm surrendering there or not surrendering there? Because it's easy to take things for granted. It's easy to be accustomed to chanting japa, to having a morning program, to doing things. But we need to be conscious always what we are doing, with the mood that we're doing it in. And really, with or without this body, then savor goes on for the servitors. And may our life now, just continue. Service is service. Now we're given this, each of us have got some service to do. And that service is centered around the holy name. And we know what is pleasing to our gurus, to carefully be able to share that with others. When we see others are suffering, then with whatever we know, but whatever we share, to be careful that it is correct. And I'm very happy to be transported to Navadip of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj's time, Navadip of the Back to Basics classes, Navadip when we did have Gurudev's direct eye, whether he was with us. He may be in Calcutta and we're in Navadip, but we know Gurudev knows everything without any telephone or internet. And so, also today, Gurudev knows everything. And Navadip is the land of savor. Gurudev and Guru Maharaj made Navadip as the savor place, the savor. Everything was savor. Yes, pilgrimage can come to Navadip, and we get some inspiration by coming to the places of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, Aparada, Bhanjan Path, etc. But everybody knows after 3 days, something Gurudev is expecting. Everyone will do seva. And for many, those who are fortunate, as soon as they come in through the gate, then seva is waiting for them. And we must consider ourselves fortunate that actually that would happen, coming in through the gate. I remember being in Malaysia and coming to Navadip in the early days. And from America and other places, it's very straightforward. You get on a plane, you get off the other side, take a taxi, and you're in Navadip. Very easy. From Malaysia, it's take a local bus and take an express bus to Penang, another bus to the border, then the third-class train from the border up to Bangkok, and then a night in Bangkok, collect the ticket. Next day, take the train, go to the airport. Now, it's a 4-day journey to make it to Navadip. And then we're taking the local bus or the local train to Navadip. Oh, we come in through the gate. And then the first thing, there's that time Badri and Ryan say, oh, we're waiting for you. We've got the decorations to put up. So, oh, okay. Can I put my bag somewhere, please? But it was very much the place of seva. When we were very few devotees, there was so much to do, but when there were many devotees, also so much to do, because the temple expanded, and so much to do for the maintenance, not just maintenance, but for the loving service to the Dham. And Gurudev gave that opportunity for that service to the Dham for all of the devotees who came. Gurudev gave that opportunity, and one of the services was that we have an English class, that English class that took place and can still take place on the Samadhi Mandir at 9 a.m. This is directly Gurudev's instruction, as well as the other programs, but he added that. And English means Westerners class, and sometimes it was Spanish, sometimes it was Russian. And was it ever exclusively Chinese? Not sure, but Russian, yes. Spanish, yes. English, yes. And Gurudev sometimes giving the class himself, but many times it also coincided with the morning time when Gurudev would walk around the temple. And many times he's coming and standing in front, making everybody nervous. Are we saying the right things or not? But the morning class on the Samadhi Mandir was a happy class, inaugurated by Gurudev, and a time for the Westerners to come together and understand. Actually, well, we can say back to basics, but it was reading from the scriptures, sharing things that we'd heard from Gurudev in the morning. That also was very happy. And we know that not everybody, especially newly coming, understands what Gurudev is actually saying. They get lots of words wrong, so they lose the thread of what Gurudev was saying. So in those morning classes, sometimes it's readings, sometimes it's a class, sometimes it is recapping on Gurudev's morning talks. Like this, not a fixed format, but in front of Guru Maharaj, and dignified class, you can say. Hare Krishna. And the Ishta Goshtis, they would take place not directly in front of Guru Maharaj and not directly in front of the deities, because in that way the Ishta Goshtis were a different format, where the devotees will glorify each other, but devotees also bring up service necessities, and it was a different kind of, not management, but a different format than rather, sitting. It's not something that we would sit in front of Gurudev or in front of Guru Maharaj to do. It was the devotees come together and following their direction, then in a different kind of a class or program. Hare Krishna. But Gurudev always wanted to know what took place in the Ishtagoshti. I mean, invariably, I don't think we ever had one that Gurudev didn't ask. And what took place today? And Gurudev asked, and then we tell him. Hare Krishna. Ishtagoshti. Started by Guru Maharaj, continued by Gurudev, and ourselves on behalf of Gurudev, still continued by Gurudev. Then Ishtagoshti in Navadip. And then back to basics. Hare Krishna. And that's in the time of Gurudev, back to basics. Gurudev happy with all of these things. Govinda, Govinda. Rupa Vilas Prabhu joined us. Dandavat Rupa Vilas Prabhu. Dandavat Ekadashi Devirasi. Jayadev Prabhu also joined us in the meantime. And Madhava Prabhu has joined us already. And Anukul Chandra Prabhu also on Facebook, and maybe others that I can't see.
You have Dandavat from Paramapriya Didi. She's from Mexico.
Okay, Paramapriya Didi. Dandavat. Hare Krishna.
And Maharaj, can we please ask our dear Kumkum Didi?
Definitely. What are you going to ask her?
About emotion and devotion.
Oh, certainly. Kumkum Devi Rasi.
I was so happy to hear Srila Gurudev bringing this up, because it seems to be a very easy trap to fall into, and perhaps to take spiritual practices a little bit lightly. And as Divya Shakti Didi was pointing out, that we're hearing a lot about sadhana and keeping very clear on our practice of sadhana. And that seems to be the easiest way to tell for an individual if they're on the level of emotion or on the level of devotion. So we're not chanting for our own feeling good, you know, to enjoy the peace or whatever that comes from chanting or from worshiping the deity or any of the things, any kind of service that we may have. But out of dedication, if we try to adhere very carefully to what our guru wants us to do, seems to be the very best protection from falling into emotion, just being in an emotional state. We're always hearing about emotional platforms. Even Sriman Mahaprabhu is showing emotion, and it's so different from ours. So we can't think that we're going to be in that same kind of mood. And very important to adhere and to chant and understand our own place in things, is to be a practitioner, a happy one, a very happy practitioner, but not to be imitating the great emotional expressions that we see.
Yes. Jai. And when some feelings come to us, we will also, as Mahaprabhu showed, because he gave by example, gave instruction by example too, then he is saying, oh, it is not real, it is just coming. We must dismiss this. And so again, we're getting the mood given by the greater charges, but headed by Mahaprabhu himself. So even if something comes to us, if it is genuine, we'll be thinking it's not genuine, because really, unless, only and if our Guru Vaga will give some tick, oh, no, you had really, it was devotion. But I think we can say safely for us all, we'll always think, oh, that's not the real thing. And there is so much ahead.
Yeah.
Nam namakari bahuda nija sava shaktis tatrapita niyamitaha smaranena kalaha itadrishi tva kripa bhagavan mamapi durdaivam edrisham ihajani nanuraga. Oh dear. Very sad. I don't have a drop of that real taste or anything. But the Lord has given everything from his side. Hare Krishna.
There was a good advice from Srila Gurudev, who also spoke on that subject extensively. And he said that it's not that you don't get any genuine emotions coming to you. It is possible. It can be verified by the higher Vaishnava. And he said, but if you got it, lock it in the locker of your heart. Do not make a show out of it. Do not print a t-shirt. Do not wave the flags with that. Oh, look what I got. He said, just lock it there safely. Let it sit there. In time, you will understand yourself. Are they genuine or not? So that was another Gurudev's advice, which is very sweet.
And not to imitate. This imitation is the exact opposite of the devotion which is given by Mahaprabhu. To pretend or to try to induce some feeling and try to convince oneself by repeatedly telling oneself, you are this identity. This is absolutely false and condemned by Guru Maharaj Gurudev. So we must keep well clear from this imaginary path and keep safely on the substantial, the real path. Hare Krishna. And anyway, many difficulties come up when trying to understand what is the right thing to do when devotees have come from an imitation background, that somehow their life brought them into the imitation background. Because we hear how very harmful that is, that in this lifetime may never be able to leave that behind. But when devotees come and they are expressing that, oh no, now I know it's the wrong thing to do, how it's very difficult to understand how much we can open our heart, or what is our duty in regard to associating with such persons. Hare Krishna. If we are very powerful, if we are Gurudev, then he can digest everything. But even he was extremely cautious. Hare Krishna. So the big message there is also not to put our finger in the pot, because it is a very dangerous pot to put our finger in. There are crocodiles living in that pot. They can grab our finger and pull us in. Not a very good example, is it? But anyway.
Maharaj, it is example that lots of Vaishnavas are using in their expression. So it is a good example.
Crocodile in a pot.
Crocodiles in general. In the pot, it's just, it's an ornamentation.
And Thailand has got crocodiles. My goodness, we went to the crocodile place. Hare Krishna. But not only Thailand has crocodiles, Cambodia also went to the crocodile place. Oh, so many crocodiles. But in the wild, I've seen so many crocodiles. Nigeria, I saw especially many. Kenya, there are so many. I've seen some, but not as many in one place as in Nigeria. Many. But one crocodile is enough to catch us into imitation. Hare Krishna. Well, we've been talking about sermons of the Guardian of Devotion. Oh, look at this, the very first thing I've come to. Well, I mean, we know this example. Here's Guru Maharaj, the very first thing I've come to, not directly looking for it, is Guru Maharaj talking on this subject. I can read you something. The best thing I can do is to read the words of our master. So this is Srila Guru Maharaj. Srila Guru Maharaj from Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion. And I'm not sure if I'm in chapter 2 or not. And certainly this is familiar to us, but let us hear from Guru Maharaj. So these two ideas of renunciation and enjoyment are foreign to us. These two ideas of renunciation and enjoyment are foreign to us. They possess us like ghosts. They have taken possession of our ego and are playing with it. We are prey in their mischievous hands, and we must escape from such a conspiracy of Maya. We must be free members of the infinite world, where the noble flow of dedication flourishes. We must be free members of the infinite world, where the noble flow of dedication flourishes. No limited aspiration exists there. A current of wholesale dedication flows towards the center and to all concerned. And that is our home, the soil where we can live eternally. There, all are individuals, and there is no death, no birth, no infirmity, and no disease. Our inner self will emerge and mingle with the residents of that land. Hare Krishna. Now Guru Maharaj is saying, our own experience should not be easily relied upon, such as thinking, this is God, this is my conception, I have a touch of God. And now Guru Maharaj is saying, there was a Babaji who was thought by many to be a great devotee. Whenever he took the name, he shed incessant tears, liquid oozed from his nose, and he was seen to be in some abnormal meditating position. On either side of him, his attendants would constantly cleanse his tears and face with napkins as he madly chanted the name. Some atheistic persons considered that he was displaying religious fanaticism, while common people who had some simple faith in God estimated him to be a very high-class devotee. But our Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada, rejected him and his antics as devoid of proper God conception. And now Guru Maharaj is quoting from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Atta nishatvaha nisarga pichchila swante tad abhyasa pare picha satvabha sang vinapi syu kvapyashru pulakadayaha. It's Sanskrit. And now the meaning of that, so Guru Maharaj maybe didn't say it, whether or not, I do not know, but the translation of that is here. Whenever shedding tears, horripilation, etc., are seen in persons whose hearts are soft externally and hard internally, and who are habituated to crying, rapture, etc., even though they do not possess a semblance of divine emotion, such an imitative sentiment should be known as totally unsubstantial and lifeless. So that's the quote. And Guru Maharaj, so a little more from Guru Maharaj. Mental imitation of devotion is possible. Mental imitation of devotion is possible, even without a tinge of pure devotion. In a drama also, we may find a man who is fully drunk, playing the part of a devotee, shedding tears and dancing madly, as if he is a great devotee. By practicing, one can acquire that mental condition of shedding tears, and one can show many feats as though he were a real devotee. Merely the display of some peculiar external characteristics does not prove the presence of pure devotion. Real devotion is sudurlabha, a very, very rare achievement. Hare Krishna. And I can just skip down a little bit because here there's another expression of Guru Maharaj, which is very, I mean, all expressions are wonderful for us, but just a little further on. Guru Maharaj saying, in one word, when we say that we have some devotion, we are not in devotion. Deva. When we say that we have some devotion, we are not in devotion. Rather, when we can feel that we have nothing, although we have no aspiration for any other thing, at that point, we may be making some progress. We do genuinely, in American, genuinely, but we'll go for the English. We do genuinely want something, although we can't clearly understand what. But we appreciate the devotees and the divine scriptures of devotion. When our appreciation is on that side, yet we feel we are bereft, that is a sober and healthy position. So vacant. Hare Krishna. Anyway, I'd be happy to read you the rest of the book. Oh, I already did so. The link is in the chat box.
And Maharaj, Guru Maharaj is touching another subject. He is mentioning it, and it is forever relevant, but especially right now. He says that we must be concerned. I'm just paraphrasing him. We must be concerned with the conspiracy by Maya, no other conspiracies. Considering that in the present day, devotees are so much concerned about all sorts of conspiracies that they're reading or hearing on YouTube, on the internet, and really it's taking away everything from them. It's taking away their faith, it's taking away their enthusiasm. They're losing that, they're bleeding that actually. And it is so sad to see sometimes. And here Guru Maharaj points out, the only conspiracy you can be concerned with, understand this is going on, is Maya's conspiracy to keep you here, eternally illusioned in the bondage of this world of birth and death. And really, the rest is the explanation, how to get out of it, what to do about it. So we have to focus on that. No need to think about or no need to hear all those things and being over concerned, over troubled by them. It's the world of Maya. There is nothing new about it. It was like that trillions of years ago. During Hiranyakashipu time, during the Ravana time, during any time. It's the Maya's conspiracy. So let's just do something about that and be concerned with that conspiracy and no other.
Jai. Hare Krishna. I only hear devotees talking about Krishna, though. Hare Krishna. And here in the chat box, I'm just reading the message from Chintamani Devi Dasi to everyone. That's you, I believe. My way of dealing with this and attempting to be real finally is that instead of thinking myself an aspiring Bhakti yoga practitioner, considering how many days in a row my japa mala fasts, oh dear, literally for days on end, that my new stance is that it is more honest that I identify more as a Mayavadi, addict, fake Bhaktin. Oh my goodness. Oh, I see you've got a message before that too, saying, I feel my mental imitation of devotion came from the desire to please the Vaishnavas. I feel my mental imitation of devotion came from my desire to please the Vaishnavas and not being honestly connected to where I am really at.
I guess Chintamani's Mala needs some feeding, Maharaj.
Yes, okay, first thing. And how do we even have this idea of the mala of fasting? This is Guru Maharaj's expression. This is Guru Maharaj, I never heard any kind of idea like this before, but the mala will not fast. So this is coming from Guru Maharaj. But I actually don't understand the first part of your thing, which is I feel my mental imitation of devotion came from the desire to please the Vaishnavas. No, the desire to please the Vaishnavas is the healthy desire. We want to please the Vaishnavas. And not being honestly connected to where I am really at. Well, where we're really at is we're in this world, and we have hope that the Vaishnavas may accept our service. Anyway, I'm giving you a one-sided argument, seeing as it seems you're typing the messages. Oh, here's another message. Like being initiated in ISKCON, agreeing to chant 16 rounds. Okay, Chintamani Devi Dasi, I shall leave you with your meditation, but I can put in a little idea that, yeah, the desire to please the Vaishnavas, it is very good desire. We may feel inadequate that we're not able to do it, but we do want to please the Vaishnavas. We were reflecting, maybe here, I'm not sure. We were reflecting recently with Onos as with Keshavananda Prabhu, and now it's just a little bit early for Keshavananda Prabhu. Keshavananda. So it wasn't in the back to basics, but we were reflecting on some of our early days in the temple and the early days, like of hearing about Vaishnava Seva and everything, and how everything we do, it is not for our satisfaction. And some of the things we do are definitely not things we would choose to be doing. But we are trying to follow the direction of the devotees and trying to please the devotees. And in that, why I'm thinking of that, in that discussion also, there was one senior, a well-wisher, and I'm extremely grateful to him. And we were remembering his name and remembering him. He came and took shelter of Guru Maharaj presently too, which was very happy, but he was my senior in the early days in ISKCON. But we were taught and also thinking it, and really this impression came from Srila Prabhupada, from his books, because we hadn't met any devotees except like seeing them chanting in the street. So we hadn't really met any devotees, but that we would give respect to all the devotees. And when I first came to the temple, then really we're thinking that, oh, these people, they're all so special. They've been chanting so many Hare Krishnas, so many Krishnas, Hares, Ramas, Maha mantras. They're chanting in front of the deity. And so we're giving obeisances to all the devotees, because Srila Prabhupada says we must give obeisances to the devotees. And this sweet senior devotee, he said to me after a while, don't give obeisances to everybody. They're not all devotees. And I said, what? They're not all devotees. Then, then actually, I didn't argue with him, but in my mind, I thought, okay, that's his view because he's older. But from where I've just come from, literally the jungles of Africa, I mean, if literally I've come from the jungles of Africa, then, you know, they're all devotees to me. And I think still we try to keep that view and attitude that really they're all devotees and chanting, and whatever the reason that they have a very long shika, then we can think that they're all devotees happily. Hare Krishna. And that devotee was my well-wisher, and that I pray still is my well-wisher. Our seniors, that was back to, well, no, that was when I graduated. Oh yes, Divya Shakti. I graduated from one thing, from the back to basics course, not back to basics, the back to basics course of ISKCON. I did graduate. After graduation, then Paramananda also. After graduation, then on the traveling Sankirtan, which everyone's got to go through the traveling Sankirtan. But some get kicked off it, believe it or not. And I'm in that department because I was such a poor investment on the traveling Sankirtan. But I was the driver and I drove and I cooked, but my collection was very poor. And so then got kicked off it. And then after that, then I was under this devotee. Very sweet. Not only that, and the different devotees. Govinda, Govinda. Divya Shakti, Didi, you started us. You brought us into our devotional mood today. So now please, you give some extra push to our fire to try to get us into devotees for these coming days till we meet again soon.
Anyway, it's all about Sharanagati, isn't it?
It is.
That's what came to my mind. And I was reading the starting a Sharanagati book, and I think it's very important that we reread that book and try to remember the songs of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And I think it's very important for that, for us to do that. And when you were just speaking right now, that's when I thought about Sharanagati. And also, it came to my mind when you were saying about paying obeisances, that verse that we chant every day, Sakala Vaishnava Nama Purna Namaskari Tikichu Aparada Nahiya Amma. In that one, we don't know who's a devotee and who isn't a devotee. So give honor to everybody. And I think that's very important also. So also the I just want to go back to Sharanagati, because you were talking about these things that we get attracted to on like the internet and stuff. And I know that's a weakness in my heart, you know, when you're searching or surfing the web, and I get attracted by these things, and nothing is for my enjoyment, you know, but then I'm so habituated to identify with that. But then if we go in the proper flow of everything, in the proper flow of Sharanagati, then we're rightly situated. So I think that that is the main reason why we should actually reread that book, the Sharanagati, and the prayers of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, so we can always keep ourselves properly situated. Like you're always telling us, Madhusudhan Maharaj. You're always telling us to have a good foundation and, you know, practice our Krishna consciousness, because it's a natural thing. It's a natural flow. It's not what we want to do, this exploitation and renunciation. When you were talking about that, I was thinking about Sharanagati, you know, and this is where we're most happy. This is what we really want. So anyway, that's all I really have to say. But I think this is what gives us life, and we know that, we feel that. It's not that I know it because my teacher said so or my Gurudev said it. It's because in my heart, that's what I really want. That's what I really like, you know. But I'm so habituated. I say we're, but it's me. I'm so habituated to be materially contaminated and attracted to this mundane energy that we have to keep pulling ourselves back and pulling ourselves back on track and practicing this Krishna consciousness. So anyway, I think it's we're very fortunate, and it's a very beautiful thing, and we have all this beautiful association with all these beautiful books and scriptures and audios that you've given us over the years, and just take shelter there, and we'll be nourished, and we'll have the real wealth of our heart. And this is what we need to meditate on in our lives, and to keep ourselves strong in Krishna consciousness. And it's very important.
Jai, very nice, Divya Shakti. And this is all relatable. We all relate to these things. And it's a reminder for us that how do we keep ourselves coming back on track, keeping in the right direction, especially through association. So we're very happy to be with you all. Birds of a feather flock together. So let us fly along happily on our journey. And we all here all know that really we're keeping our feet on the ground, looking up and relying on causeless mercy. But that doesn't mean we do nothing. We do what they've guided us to do in our daily practices and continue safely. Chant the holy name of the Lord without offense. Everything is given there. And in Guru Maharaj's guidance and Gurudev's guidance of without offense means that we we avoid the 10 offenses, and we chant in service, mood, and activity. Oh, look, there's Davali. Davali's nose. Hi, Davali. From Ekadashi's Tomsk new home, new Goshala. Davali, Haribol. All right, dear devotees, let us continue. And we have a week, we have a few days, 4 days to practice our inspiration, what we are inspired, what has brought us. We must remember that, appreciate that, and to practice nicely. And let us meet after 4 days and continue chanting Hare Krishna, associating together, sharing together, and being happy is a natural outcome. Oh, we have a hand from Praneshwari Didi. Yes, Praneshwari.
Yes, Maharaj. Dandavats from Jagamohini Didi here in the States.
Yes.
And Madhavi Devidasi in Colombia.
Dandavat.
Wow.
Dandavat. Happy to know that you're with us, Jai. Part of the family. Part of the family of Gurudev's beautiful family, Guru Maharaj's beautiful family, Srila Prabhupada's beautiful family. It is one family we will, by their grace, come to understand and see very soon. So let us be fearless about this material world. Know we're doing the right thing. Chant Hare Krishna. Be happy. Jai Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sunda Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Bhanga ki Jai. Vishwaranya Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. The 6 Goswamis ki Jai. And Raghunath Das Goswami, he gave obeisances to, don't remember, maybe 1,000 Vaishnavas every day. Something like that. Many, many Vaishnavas. Amazing. I mean, just another of those inconceivable things. All right. And to all the assembled Vaishnavas ki Jai. And the Sri Chaitanya and Rupa Saraswat Acharya Brinda ki Jai. And Sri Rupanuga Guru Vaga ki Jai. And all of our dear devotees with us here today, headed by Kumkum Dasi and Paramananda, Divya Shakti Dasi, Rupa Vilas Prabhu, and all of you, one by one, and Jagamohini and Madhvi, and the devotees who are with us on the Facebook, which we're very happy, and all the devotees who will be seeing also the recording. We're all together with you, only separated by little distance sometimes and a little time sometimes when you see the recorded version. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuviya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dandavat dandavat.
Jai Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai.
And Seva Rupa Devidasi of Mexico just joined also on Facebook. Dandavat to you and happily a few moments, but you can see all the beautiful faces of the devotees. Even in a few moments, we can get some nourishment in devotional service. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Om. Dandavat, Dandavat.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
No problem. Hare Krishna.